Gwen Ifill was a journalist, a mentor, and a barrier-breaking host of PBS NewsHour. And to many, she was so much more. This week, we're commemorating this public media icon in honor of her birthday on September 29th by taking a look at a PBS town hall she hosted in Ferguson, Missouri 5 years ago this week. Welcome to WGBH's The Rewind, where each week we explore the public media archives where our history is preserved, online and in the vault. Gwen Ifill's impact on public media, and indeed on journalism as a profession, can't be overstated. So this week we want to hear about a piece of journalism that impacted your life. Let us know in the comments or with hashtag WGBHRewind. 5 years ago, the death of Michael Brown sparked civil unrest in his home of Ferguson, Missouri, and spurred a nationwide conversation on law enforcement and Black communities. As part of the discussion, PBS aired America After Ferguson, produced by WGBH's Studio 6, which mixed interviews with a town hall conversation in Ferguson hosted by Gwen Ifill. Let's take a look.
Thank you all for joining me. Jelani Cobb is a contributing writer at The New Yorker. Candace McCoy is a professor of criminal justice at the City University of New York. Jason Riley is an editorial writer at the Wall Street Journal. And Anna DeVere Smith, actor, writer, professor, thinker. Thank you for joining us as well. I want to start by having this conversation be bigger than the ones we usually hear about what's happened after Ferguson. And by talking first about the divide that we have seen, the dilemma that we have seen, and then what do we do next? Let's start with the dilemma that we see before us. Anna, why do we repeatedly see ourselves in this place, this debate? You have done one-woman shows in which you've talked about what happened in Los Angeles after the riots, what happened in Crown Heights, and you've talked to hundreds of people who talk about this dilemma. As you watched Ferguson unfold, what were you thinking?
Well, many things, but in terms of the dilemma, if you mean the racial divide in this country, of course, that's our history. I suppose in my lifetime, I wasn't paying that much of attention to it as a kid, but it was illegal for, Black and white people to marry, or that's a reality that is as serious as if this were as some kind of a break in the land, as if this were a kind of an actual physical thing. And I think we very often underestimate what it takes to be constructive given that history.
Jason, did you ever think we were in a post-racial era?
No, I didn't.
And why not?
Frankly, I think that there is it reflects our political divide. I think you have some folks on the left side of the political spectrum who don't want to be in a post-racial society. They play a sort of identity politics, appealing to blacks, women as women, gays as gays, and so forth. And they want to keep those categories out there alive and well.
Now, I understand that. Is there anybody on the right who has a stake in that?
Sure, you have demagogues on both sides doing this. I would agree there are some people on the right. But you do have this another sense on the right that color blindness is a word you hear coming out of the right's political spectrum.
I always say
there are people on the left who say that's wishful thinking.
No,
we're not there.
I don't say it's
wishful.
I don't say it's wishful thinking, but I think you're not seeing me if you don't see my color. How could you possibly? That means you're just blind, right? You only see color blindness if you think if color is a negative.
That could be one. I mean, I'm not one who uses that term,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I do hear it coming out of those on the right. Yeah.
The reason I raise that is just because it's an example of the way we talk past each other. People are, in my experience, nervous when they talk about race, and nervous when they talk about blame and just the way we look at each other. Sure. And I wonder if that doesn't drive a lot of the misunderstandings. We see a poll in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch in the last 7 days, which shows that 62%, I don't know the exact numbers, but roughly 60% of whites say that Michael Brown's shooting was justified. Mm-hmm. Roughly 60% of blacks say Michael Brown's shooting was unjustified. There is a divide here, which is about the way we talk, the way we perceive, as much as about the facts of the case.
But it's also,
Go
a divide about our actual lived experiences. So if you come from a community wherein you have never had reason to fear the police, then it would be easy for you to presume, and certainly comforting to think that you live in a society where police will not shoot someone where it's unwarranted. But for many, if not most African Americans, that is not a perspective that we can afford. That would be simple naivete. It's a cop-out to say that this is about history because it almost absolves us of the things that are actually going on right now today.
Let me try to reach for a little bit of hopefulness here, or solutions, or direction, where we go from here. It seems that on some level, we are reaching and are hungry for voices to have these discussions, but not just the old way we have them, not just the knee-jerk way. Who should those voices be? Are we listening to a passing generation of voices? Or should we be posing the questions differently, answering them differently, engaging them differently?
America After Ferguson is available for viewing at pbs.org. And as always, you can find archival footage related to major news events like this at openvault.wgbh.org. Let us know what you find in the comments or with hashtag WGBHRewind. Thanks again for unwinding with The Rewind, and we'll see you next week in the archives.